Okay, so tonight I am revealing how I joined Actors Equity, how I booked my first national commercial, how I narrated 100 audiobooks, how I booked my first video game, and how I booked my first speaking role for TV. And the answer is I made the most powerful decision that I know possible for my acting career. And that was saying no to a job. So in each of these cases, when I was booking equity, when I booked my first national commercial, when I decided to focus on audiobooks, when I decided to work in video games, when I decided I wanted that speaking role for TV, in each of these cases, all goals that I have accomplished, I said no to something else. At first, the stakes were low. So I'm talking like saying no to waiting tables, saying no to babysitting, saying no to any job that I did in the past that no longer made me feel good anymore. And that I could see, when I could see that more was possible, the only way to get further to where I wanted to go was finally saying no to the things that had already served me that weren't right for where I was going. So, hey everybody, I'm Elise if you don't know me, and I'm so grateful to be here with you tonight inside the Global Actors Group, where we're gonna talk all about when to say yes or no to a job. And I wanna give you the power, I want you to give yourself your power back to say no. Because in so much of this career, we are waiting for other people to give us permission. But whenever you get an offer, whether it be an offer for a different day job, an offer to go see a show, an offer to any experience, it is your choice whether you say yes or you say no. So let me just say, hey, I see Deborah's here. Hi, Deborah, good to see you. As you're tuning in, feel free to leave questions here, even if you're listening in replay. I would love to answer any questions that you have. And I'd love to know specifically if anybody is going through a situation where a job offer has come up and you're wondering if you should take it or not. Leave your situation in the comments if you'd like some feedback, and I'd love to coach you through it if you'd like. So let me talk a little bit about each of these situations for me. So when I decided that as a professional theater actor, I wanted to go equity, the only way I knew that could happen would be by me shifting my focus to only focus on auditions and build theater relationships at equity theaters. And then for me, I went through the EMC process. So at the point I decided this is what I was going to do, I started saying no to non-equity jobs. I said no. A long time before that, I had said no to any acting jobs for no pay. So I was in this like in between kind of non-equity, partly amateur, partly professional theaters at the time. But once I decided to switch gears, I think it was my first booking. I had booked a show that was going to give me my first EMC points. And I said, okay, let me trust and let me say no to the other non-equity jobs that come my way. And little by little, just by making that focus and saying no, I suddenly had all this power come into my life and maybe I didn't know if I was going to book as many shows as I had in the past. But it's important that you give yourself that uncomfortable feeling of saying no, because you're going to get to this point in your career, and some of you may already be there, where you have so many opportunities coming your way that you don't know which to say yes or no to. And if you say yes to everything, then when there's some next level of opportunity that comes your way, you may or may not be able to take that on. So that's why I think it's important for you to start flexing this no muscle as early as you can. I think early on in your career, if you're just getting started, I think it's wise to take on as many opportunities as you can. Whatever comes your way, take it on, because you're still building your experience, you're building your resume, and you are building your network. So it's important to say yes often. But as you're switching gears, so I was talking a little bit about the theater goals, but when I decided I wanted to move into voiceover, I had to say no to certain things. There were times when I decided, I'm not going to invest in an on-camera class right now, so I'm going to say no to bright, shiny object in front of me, which is this acting class that looks cool because I'm saving my money for a commercial demo. So by saying no to something, you're creating the space and the time and even the money in order to really streamline that and get closer to where you want to be in the one goal that you're pursuing. And I say one goal that you're pursuing because I think it's really tricky to get to multiple goals at once. So let me just share with you, if you haven't already, in the link which I've included, that's my article from Backstage. I also shared it in you probably received it in your inbox earlier this week, but I gave you a few guidelines to follow. So if you are feeling unclear of whether you should say yes or no to something, then you might be in a place of transition. Actually, one of my power groupers, for the purposes of this, I will call her Sammy. So Sammy was saying yes to the same things over and over again, over and over again. And she was so used to doing it that she really had no idea how to say no. So I gave her this challenge and she just reported back to me, Sammy finally said no to something and it's opened up all this time and space. And for the first time ever, I think she realizes how much opportunity is open to her. In fact, now she's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do next because there's so many things I want to do. So sometimes just learning that you can say no is empowering and freeing enough. Hey, Barbara, good to see you here. So I want to give you a few guidelines to follow. So if you have a job offer on the plate, like on your plate right now, if you just got an offering, I want you to first ask yourself, does this offer align with the goals I've set for myself? So say it's the kind of job that you've taken many times before and you know it always makes you tired. Like say it's a theater job that you've done year after year after year. And this year you're really gaining traction with some on-camera film directors and you've had some callbacks recently and maybe you are working on a film during this time and you want to keep some time open. You might play around with saying no to the theater job. Of course, this depends. Like I want you to do a few things. First, does it align with the goal? Does it align with the goal that you set out for yourself? What is your long-term plan for your career? It's important that you know that. And if this is like an offer, actually this happened to me today. I used to do a lot of standardized patient work, which I love. It's when actors work for med schools and you play the patient for med students. And I used to love this work. I did this about a decade ago in Washington, D.C. and New York City. And I loved the work. It was super gratifying. And it was so cool because we could use our acting in a way that I could totally see the purpose of it. I was helping med students understand social skills, and I was learning a lot about the medical field at the same time. But I stopped taking that work a long time ago. It just didn't match with how I wanted to be spending my time, and it didn't match the money I wanted to be making as well. So it's interesting because that's a clear no for me. And I had this offer come to me today from a colleague, and it was in that same realm. And I don't know if she knew or not that I had done this work a long time ago. But for a second, I was like, oh, that wouldn't be hard. I could do that. And I was about to say yes, but I was like, no, I'm not doing this work anymore. And I am busy on those days. I don't need to move things around in order to make less than $100 a day for this work that I know how it makes me feel now, which it doesn't align with my long-term vision. So that was easy for me to say no because I've clarified that. I've already said no. That's already doesn't fit in the things I say yes or no to anymore. Not to say it will never fit. Like there may be a time 20, 30 years down the road where I decide I want to start doing that work again. Maybe even 5 years from now. I just know for me right now, it's not a fit. Doesn't mean it's not a fit for somebody else. Again, I love that work. Just for me and what I'm pursuing right now, it doesn't fit. Okay, so that's that. There was one more thought I had there. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it back. Okay, so that's the kinds of the times when I say no because it doesn't fit my goals. Another time you might say no is when the job doesn't provide a decent amount of money or access to reputable relationships. So think about that. You need money. Some of you might not be doing this for pay right now, and the money might not matter to you. So again, it's up to you, but that's how I've balanced it in the past, is thinking about, well, if I take this job, will it take up time where I need to be making money? And are there other ways I can do it? So again, first, does this job align with my long-term career goals? And second, does it provide a decent amount of money or access to reputable industry relationships? So some jobs I've said yes to for a specific relationship, like it's a director I really want to work with, and even though it's a stage reading for low pay, it's giving me access to new relationships that will help me find more of the work I really want down the road. And then finally, does it feel right? And what I mean by that is, check in with your gut. Are you excited about this or not? It's so important that you start trusting your own instincts, because so often we ask for advice from other people. We ask our acting coach, we ask our career coach, we ask our mom, we ask our spouse, like, do you think I should do this? But I want you to start checking in with yourself. Like, does this bring me joy? Is this something that's going to be really fun? And so even if it doesn't align with the goals you want, and even if it doesn't bring in the money, but you really want to do it, then I say, look at those 3 questions. If you can answer 2 of them yes, then I would say it's a yes. If 2 of them are no, then you really want to think about it. And if this is intriguing to you at all, I have a free yes or no guide that I created for you. And you can get this at the link above. It's the yes or no guide to help you make some clear decisions for your next acting offer. So I'm going to stay on here for 1 quick minute to see if anything comes in. But if not, I just want to say hey to Tom and Lauren who joined us. And I'm wishing you guys a great week. I hope you feel empowered to start saying no to work that is no longer serving you, so you can make more room to say yes for the work that you do want. All right. I hope you have an awesome week, and I'm cheering you on. I'll see you soon. I'll be back here next week for another Facebook Live. Thanks, everyone. Take care.